LPT, billionaires like to rewrite their origin story to amplify their achievements against a backdrop of adversity that didn't really exist. Take their life advice with a pinch of salt, it probably won't work for you. Mark Cuban says this one small change gave him the motivation to succeed. Edit, Permaban from R. Wall Street Bets. Since this post went crazy LMAO. LPT, tell loved ones about a particular location they can go and sit with you after you've passed. Regardless of what comes after death, the location and feeling of closeness will be comforting to them. LPT, ask a potential roommate how they deal with annoying neighbors. It'll tell you a lot about how they will handle conflict and issues with you in the future. I learned this lesson the hard way. I was seeing a room in a duplex and the person showing me the room was telling me about the neighbors and how they have a tendency to walk loudly or play their music too loud. He mentioned how he deals with it by slamming doors, hitting walls, until it stops, and described his own approach as kill them with passive aggressiveness. Okay. Guess how he started acting towards me 6 weeks later? Once he texted me that I coughed too loud while I was sick. So now I always ask potential roommates how they deal with neighbor issues. Their response will speak volumes. LPT, if you eat out frequently because you can't cook, spend a few $100s on cooking classes and nice knives. A little knowledge and good tools will return all that money back to you in less than a year. Bonus, cooking has been regularly shown to have great mental health benefits. The most common excuses I hear from people who eat out multiple times a week are that they either can't cook, or they can, but they just hate doing it, and usually the frustration from doing it stems from having really poor quality food prep tools. With a little know-how and a set of knives that will easily slice through things, cooking becomes both easy and enjoyable. And it will save you a ton of money compared to delivery, takeout. It might sound like a pricey investment at first, but it will come back to you so quickly when you start cooking for yourself. And you'll feel so accomplished when you're sitting down to eat something you made yourself. LPT, a free VPN service does not exist in the world. You are simply paying with your data rather than money. Do your own diligence when it comes to choosing a VPN. The internet is filled with free services that make bank solely based on the lack of knowledge of an average user. LPT, if you can't stop reflecting back on something cringy that you did in the past, try to remember something cringy that someone else did. Most likely, you won't be able to remember anything, so you know that nobody remembers what you did. LPT, don't take your kids in surprise trips to Disney or any destination. You are robbing them one of the best parts of every vacation, which is the weeks, months, years of anticipation and excitement. LPT, buy many pairs of the same kind of socks, so when one sock from one pair gets a hole, you *T end up with a stray sock and can swap and match socks when pairs are incomplete, because they *re all the same. LPT, clean up the kitchen while you cook. Wash used dishes lightly and set them in the sink, then while you wait for your food to cook, wash just 1 or 2 dishes. You'll have a clean kitchen before your meal is finished. LPT, forgot someone's birthday from last week? Kindly apologize and then wish them anyway. It will make them happy nevertheless. Everyone forgets from time to time. When you take the extra step to wish them even though it's late, it will show that you care. LPT, if your USB cable is twisted and bendy, wrap it tightly around a coffee mug and fill the cup with boiling water. This will remove the bends from the cable. LPT, install 2 browsers in your computer like Firefox and Edge. Use the one you like regularly and the other one for professional use like for online teaching or giving presentations etc. So, when you have to search for something on the internet your history doesn't show up in autocomplete. I know this one is not super life-changing but people usually forget about this. LPT, when it comes to questioning whether or not to tell people about a flaw in their appearance to fix, i.e. stain on their shirt on backward, the rule is, if they can't fix it in 10 seconds, then don't say anything. LPT, if you believe you are competent, you may be more incompetent than you realize. Always check your ego. Doing so will have a wonderful effect on your career. The Dunning-Kruger effect says confidence and competence often have an inverse relationship. Same thing for judging your colleagues. The most competent ones are often the least confident in their competence. LPT, when moving, fill many boxes with some layers of books and the rest with other objects. Boxes filled completely with books get way too heavy. LPT, when you are writing an email, never type or paste the to or CC addresses first. Write and proofread the email first. That way, you don't accidentally send or are tempted to just click send out of emotion before finished. LPT, instead of saying, I just assumed, say, I made the connection. It will make it come across that you assessed the situation and made your best judgment on the information you had rather than just taking a wild guess and assuming it. LPT, if you have someone in your life that you feel makes you a worse person or unhappy, realize the importance and benefits of removing this person from your life. LPT, clean your kitchen as you go. This creates a better working environment and less maintenance after cooking. I used to be a bartender some time ago, which got me into the habit of clean as you go. Spilled some food on the counter. Wipe that off right away. Knife is dirty. Clean that right away. Trimmings of food. Throw it in the bin. Recycle right away. This way the kitchen stay clean. No big mess to clean up afterwards, and if you did a good job, your some might give you a tip smiley face. And #X200B, work your kitchen as if you are tending a bar full of people for a better kitchen experience. Oh, and music. LPT, the emotional energy required to do video chats is significantly higher than the energy required for a phone call. It's okay to tell people that you prefer to have your camera off. It doesn't mean you're weak. It is brave to have the courage to set much needed boundaries. LPT, if you're in the process of gaining weight and you run out of motivation because you feel like nothing is happening, please don't stop. You have to realize that it's literally impossible that the work you put in every day is for nothing. Pushing through this is the difficult part about it. In case anybody needs to hear this today, less than 3. LPT, you can make a QR code for your Wi-Fi so your guests can access as easily. You can print this QR code and stick it to a table or the wall. LPT, if your house is a mess and cleaning it feels overwhelming, just clean 1 or 2 rooms per day. Break down the big, overwhelming job into multiple smaller jobs. LPT, always take the snacks on the plane. If you don't eat it then, put it in your car to give to a homeless person later. LPT, your employer's anonymous surveys, whether written or electronic, are never confidential. LPT, when someone introduces themselves to you, reply with, nice to meet you name. This will help reaffirm their name so you don't instantly forget it. Has helped me a bunch since I started doing it. Used to be really bad for this sort of thing. LPT, if you're getting acne flare-ups, try washing your pillowcase. Ideally you wash your sheets and pillowcases regularly, but it's easy to neglect this when you don't have access to a washer or have to spend money bringing your stuff to a coin op, especially true for college students. You rest your face on the same piece of cloth day after day for hours at a time, and the pillowcase will hold onto the oils, dirt, and cosmetics you have on your face. Over time that will trigger acne flare-ups. This will be especially acute if you don't wash your face before going to bed.